UFC 325 Volkanovski versus Lopez 2 just took place. In this video, I'm going to go through every single fight on the card, the main card and the prelims. If you're here for Volkanovski and Lopez, I've made a video earlier today on that, so this won't be included in this video. So if you go on my channel, you'll find a separate breakdown of the main event. Nevertheless, let's get into the first fight on the card. Co-main event, we had Benoit Saint-Denis taking on Dan Hooker in the lightweight division. And I guess Paddy was right. Dan Hooker can grapple a rapist off his mark, can he? As Benoit Saint Denis mauled him on the ground, which was, as I predicted. I did predict a BSD, either TKO or sub in the second. Thought Dan Hooker's, he's durable, so he'll last a round, but once BSD got him down, started hammering with the elbows, cutting him open, doesn't matter who you are, you can't take that much damage for that long. Even BSD himself couldn't take that much damage when he fought Renato Moicano, UFC Paris. Nevertheless, I think, like I said in my preview, this is the last you see of Dan Hooker at the top of the division. I think this is pretty much a free win for BSD. They've built him up back nicely since the Moicano loss, and he's looking pretty good. He's showed big improvements in the grappling now. That's two good finishes, heavily based off of grappling. So Mauricio Ruffi, who's also on the card today, had a good performance as well. Dan Hooker now, so he's looking like a real recharge, resurged contender in this lightweight division. And for his next matchup, I'd look to give him Arman Sarukian. Both guys seem to be the odd ones out in this top 5 to 10 to the title picture, really. So match them two up, co-main event, the pay-per-view, fight night main event, 5 rounds. Then we can see who's the real challenger outside of that already established legends of the division, like the Holloways, the Oliveras. To then challenge either Gaethje or Topuria for the title, or Holloway for the BMF, or Oliveira maybe if Oliveira beats Holloway. Hooker, disappointing. Bad fight IQ. Basically threw himself on Mount, which is never good. And for him, he called out Michael Chandler on the White House. It's not a bad fight. Both guys are washed, so maybe the UFC would look to do that, or they could feed him to prospects, or even better, I think they should give Dan Hooker to Paddy Pimblett. Big beef there. Dan Hooker's on the way out. Paddy Pimblett needs a layup, really, to build that height back. I think he could easily replicate this performance, which BSD had against him. It'd be a good way to get Paddy the Baddy back on track. Obviously, big beef, so it'd sell the fight. But nevertheless, BSD looked very good. Give him Arman next. Dan Hooker, tough as fuck as always, but grappling's just a glaring weakness and it'll get exploited. And give him Pimblett or maybe Chandler on the White House. Depends on how long Pimblett's out for. Dan Hooker always likes to stay active. And maybe Chandler on the White House could get some revenge, but disappointed from Hooker. Good performance from BSD. Next up, we had Rafael Fiziev versus Mauricio Ruffi in the lightweight division as well. In very impressive performance from Mauricio Ruffi here, and I picked against him here. I picked Rafael Fiziev to take him out, win a decent decision, dominant victory, and it was looking likely. If you watched that first round, Fiziev was the guy going forward, backing Ruffi up, landing those big body kicks. No, Fiziev was clearly in control of that first round, but didn't really do much. Didn't land anything of notice, and you could just tell Ruffi was trying to read the range, figure out Fiziev to then go on his onslaught. The jab was there from Ruffi. The jab was great. He had a very solid jab in this fight, piecing Fiziev up. And Fiziev is a bit of an aura farmer. We saw him at the weigh-ins with that big speech he had, which was a bit cringe, really. Yeah, the edits Fiziev has, and he looks like he should be an incredible striker, but really, on the feet, he has no pop. I thought that performance against Gaethje looked good on short notice, but he did not look good here. And I've heard rumours in the past of him wanting to go down to the featherweight, and I think he should look to move down to featherweight. I don't really think he can compete in the top of the lightweight division. There's some favourable matchups he could win down at featherweight. So Fiziev, I'd probably say give him maybe a guy like a David Onama, someone like that. Bottom ranking Dan Ige, someone at the bottom. I know Dan Ige's got an opponent, Ezekiel Costa. Just give Fiziev someone in the lower half of the featherweight rankings if that is the move he decides to make. Nevertheless, Mauricio Ruffi looked great, incredible, so clean on the feet. However, Fiziev didn't really grapple that much, so we don't know whether he's been working with Volt. We don't really know whether there's been big leaps in his grappling, so we'll have to find that out in his next fight. And for his next fight, I think they should look to keep building him up. I don't think they should throw him back in there with a guy like an Arman. Really, I think they should be looking to give him Benil Dariush next. Just build him up slowly, get him another nice little easy KO, and then maybe look to give him a guy like an Arman, an Oliveira, maybe not Oliveira, guy at the top of the division. We've got to build Ruffy up. They need to learn from the mistake. He's clearly a good fighter. He's only young, so he's got time, and give him a guy like Dariush. Very good on the feet today, and I think he could cold Dariush pretty easily, similarly to what he did to Fiziev. We just need to see before he takes that next step whether he's improved on that grappling. BSD dominated him on the ground, and that's not that. Likewise here, that's aged well as not a bad loss, and likewise for BSD that has aged as a good win. These two have got big futures, and I could honestly see them rematching in the future, top of the division. Both very good prospects. Overall, I think Fiziev needs to move down. He's too small for the weight class, and Rufi, keep training with Altman. The big improvements, looks good on the feet. Yeah, it's a real prospect in this lightweight division. Well, well, well. These two talentless fat sacks of shit at heavyweight next. Tai Tuivasa especially. Alison Teixeira here. How the fuck is this the 12th and 15th best heavyweight fighters in the world? I know I'm not the skinniest guy, I'm not in the best shape, but Tai Tuivasa, that is fucking embarrassing. How can you call yourself a professional athlete? This is why people slander the UFC so much, and especially the heavyweight division. Just look at the picture I've got on the screen here. He's sitting there, post fight, 15 minutes of barely any action. They're both fucked. I've included the picture in the thumbnail. Them standing there, I think it was in the middle of the second round, their hands on their hips, gassed, exhausted. What do these heavyweight fighters do in their training camps? What do they do? Pathetic. Both of these guys are shit. Tyson Teixeira is shit, even though he won. He's got no striking. I mean, Derek Lewis KO'd him in his last fight, so. If we really break down the fight, I suppose Teixeira just wanted it on the ground. Obviously, Tai Tuivasa can't grapple. Once you get him there, he's not getting back up unless you let him up. Teixeira's crap on the feet, can't strike for shit. Both these guys are shit. Feed them to prospects. Give Teixeira Tuivasa to these prospects. I know they've messed up Stephen Asplund. I want to see Asplund in the rankings. I think he's going to lose. He's been matched up with Vitor Petrino. Teixeira and Tuivasa to Pinto and Josh Hockett. I don't want to see either of these fight in the rankings again. These are clearly unskilled heavyweights, and honestly, the boy Mick Parky and Coles, both of these easily. They're the polar opposite here. Tuivasa can't grapple, Teixeira can't strike. Teixeira was 6'3", he'd have been KO'd in this fight. He's got an incredible build. He literally, imagine Volkov, but shit. That is what Talison Teixeira is. He's got the perfect build for heavyweight that can't strike. Boring, that wasn't a boring fight, it was quite funny. Embarrassing fight. Both these guys are shit. Starting off the main card, we had a big prospect here, Quillan Selkfield. So he was taking on Jamie Malarkey in the lightweight division? Yeah, lightweight division. Very, very impressive from Quillan Selkfield, you know. People see him as a striker because of that great curve he got over Nasrat Haqparast, but boy, he's shown he can grapple as well. He is like a real prospect in this division. He's big for the division, can grapple, can strike, give him a ranked opponent, feed him to Moicano. Feed Moicano to him, sorry. someone like that. There's a Moicano needs an opponent. I think Quillen could make a quick turnaround. Very impressive victory. Went out there against Malarkey, took him down. Nice little Greco-Roman throw. Set up the rear naked choke. There's not too much to talk about here as the fight was over pretty quick, but he looks good, man. Quillen Selkiel, real prospect here. He's only young. He will improve. Great striking, great grappling, looks like a great prospect, and he's got big things coming up. And I think UFC need to build him up slowly, just like Hufi again. Yeah, give him a guy like Moicano, someone on the edges of the rankings, just to get him in the rankings. Big fan base. Obviously, got the whole Aussie fan base. You know, they haven't really got a lightweight. The Aussies in the doing well, so the UFC will want to push this guy. Yeah, he backs it up. All the memes he's sort of drawn away from them. He wants to be seen more seriously, and clearly he's showing it. Great performance. Although, let's be honest, Jenny Malarkey, very low level. We all expected this, but still, you've got to do it. Just because we expect it, you've got to go out there and do it. And Quillen Selkiel did it. On to the prelims now. Billy Alacana versus Junior Taffa. Sorry. It was a good fight, you know. Typical grappler v striker. Junior Taffa causing him problems on the feet early. You know, Alacana does seem a bit chinny. He does seem a bit, you know, small for the weight class. You know, I could honestly see Alacana maybe make him 185 if he wanted. I don't really see Alacana beating any of the top guys. That was a poor showing in that first round. He looked very vulnerable on the feet. Nevertheless, took him down in the second, did what he needed to do, but it's not a great win. What is it with these Samoan heavyweights and light heavyweights? What do they do in training camps? They cannot grapple. Good striker, don't get me wrong, Junior Taffa is a good striker. Second, Alacana wrapped him up on the ground. It was over. I latched up the rear naked choke. Easy money for Alacana. Didn't look good on the feet at all, but did the job by out-grappling them, and maybe give Alacana a guy like Dustin Jacoby on the edges of the rankings. I don't know if he's got a matchup. Go on the edge of the rankings. If he wins that, maybe look at pushing him into the rankings. That's a guy like Alonso Menifield, just around that 13 to 15 mark. You know, he's relatively young. Alacana looks alright. I don't think they should cut Junior Taffa. You know, he's clearly shown time and time again he can't grapple, so anyone that fights him will just take him down. He's got no real chance of becoming a champ. Fucking hell. No chance of becoming a champ or anything like that. Big glaring hole in his game. Next up we had Cody Brundage against. Oh, what is his name? Wow, what? Ralston, sorry. CTE, that's what you get when you stay up all night. Have 1 hour of sleep. Ralston, a big prospect himself here. Ralston looked a bit dodgy that first round. You know, some wild exchanges with Brundage. On the feet, pretty mid. Nevertheless, got him out of there with a Tico. Did his job. Keep building him up. I don't think if you give him a big guy in the division, he'll get codes. Looked good defending the takedowns though. Did well there, but I do think a bit overhyped this guy. And I did pick him obviously. But Brundage is a pretty low level guy. We need to see him build from here. You know, he's getting the Arteba Gautier treatment right now. He beat Petrosky and now Brundage. We need to see him fight some better guys. But did the job. Got him out of there. Nice little knee. Set up some ground and pound. Obviously, big fan base in the Aussies. In Australia. Trains at CKB. Did well. Did the job. Nothing too special, but decent little prospect we've got there. It's 2-0 in the UFC now. Well, I don't like guys like this. The UK guys do it and all. Why do they only seem to fight on the Aussie cards? Just fight. I know you want the home advantage, but just fight. Doesn't matter. UFC clearly don't give a shit with the matchmaking. You know, we've got UFC London. Not even announced any of that yet. Yet they're going and putting Harry Hardwick and Lona Kavanagh on the Apex card the week after. But let's move on to the next fight. Torres Finney versus Malcolm. Malcolm, what the fuck? I'm a filthy casual. What's his name? Malcolm, sorry. Malcolm versus Finney. Wow, big upset here. He was the favourite, but I did pick Terence Finney. Torres Finney. Torres Finney got out there and smudge him. Couldn't get a single takedown. What the fuck is Torres Finney? Torres Finney. He's literally a meatball. Did it in he is literally a meatball. All he is muscle. That is not what you need in MMA. Boring debut, beat Valentin, barely got in the UFC, so there was already red flags there. The guy can't strike. He needs to. Like, you're not a bodybuilder. If you're going to fucking be Mr. Olympia or focus on MMA, I think he needs to move down. He needs to move down to 170 or 150. He could probably even make 155. He's only 5'8". Up hitting the gym, banging out chest and tries. He's got no neck, so you can't sub him there. That picture there. He trains for DC, but he's nothing like DC. He can impose his will on the feet and get out grappled. That was his bread and butter, the grappling. But took down, exposed, was pretty one-dimensional. And if you can't get the takedowns, then you can easily outpiece him on the feet. Obviously, big height disadvantage as well. It makes him pretty easy to dominate on the feet. Yeah, disappointing performance. I think you give him one more chance, and he disappoints again. I think you cut him. Alcun, though, good performance. Very good performance. Look good. Maybe we give him a Marc-Andre Barriera. That kind of fighter, just a mid-rank guy, just to see if he's been inactive for a while, Malcolm. So I want to see him be more active and just it's not get too crazy. He's not a serious prospect, but a good performance nevertheless. Dominant decision victory, maybe. He probably should have got him out there in the first, especially or even the second when he had him dead on the floor, just beating him up. Should have finished him, but nevertheless a dominant decision win for Malcolm. Oh, opening up the prelims. Orban Elliott got submitted. Disappointing. He was looking very good in that first round. Piecing Jordan Mikalev up on the feet. Clearly the better striker. Why is it? What is that to us? What is this? What are fighters' obsessions? Putting themselves in positions they're not good in. Orban Elliott piecing Mikalev up on the feet. Decides I want to clinch. I want to clinch. Mikalev reversed the clinch, took him down, latched up a body triangle, and just, well, as you can see there, got snatched up the rear naked choke. And Orban Elliott showing he is living up to the name Welsh gangster. Didn't tap. Kind of trolled him after. There was a lot of shit talking here from Orban Elliott, and he's not backed it up. Disappointing. Now on a 2-fight skid. Don't think they'll cut him, but he's got to win his next fight or he's gone. You need to give him some bottom of the barrel guy to rebuild him. Mikalev, he doesn't look great either. Guy striking big holes in the feet. Elliott, shorter guy, imposing the jab, but did the job and got the submission. That's what you've got to do. I suppose you just got to win when you're not at your best. You've just got to get it done. Orban Elliott didn't do it. Loses in enemy territory and got emoted on, which is pretty embarrassing for the Welsh gangster, but it's tough. We have to take it. Not a good year for UK MMA so far. You know, not a good year at all. But we will bounce back. And if you're waiting for me to break down that robbery of Khan Offley, don't care, and the road to the UFC fights, you're on the wrong channel. I don't care about that shit. But if you're still here, sorry, this is shit. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe, like the video, post on TikTok, Twitter. Thank you for watching.